Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today I just want to discuss a little bit about the last subtopic of chapter 11, which is subtopic 11.3, Introduction to Particle Physics. This chapter will covers about 2 marks in objective questions. So you pretty much really have to memorize certain things. So I just want to point out what's that thing. So if you go through the notes, initially they will discuss a little bit about introduction and then some of the definitions of the term used. So you need to memorize those things, you need to understand at least. And then you came out with particle accelerator. So particle accelerator can be divided into two. One is linear accelerator and another one is circular accelerator. You need to be able to differentiate between these two. You need to know what is the difference between this and this, how it detects the particles, and how it has been used, and the reason why we study using high energy particle in the first place. And the next part of this chapter is about history of the atom. So initially we thought that proton, neutron and electron is the smallest particle. But this is not true, because actually proton and neutron actually consist of other particles as well, which is what we call a quark over here. Electron is the smallest particle, but the electron actually have another siblings. So over here you can see that electron can be categorized as lepton. It has another sisters over here, which is what we call muon and tau. And then over here we have the and then over here we have a quark. These two is what we call the smallest particle. So this is the basis of the particle. Quark cannot exist by itself, so it has to combine with something, whether it is combined to the anti-quark or it is a combination of 3 quarks. And those combinations will make up baryons and meson. This is what we call hadron star. Example over here is proton and neutron. Actually it consists of 3 quarks each. So here you need to be able to identify proton actually categorized as baryons or meson, count whether it is categorized as baryon or meson. Okay, back to this over here, you need to memorize all these, especially this element, this particle over here. And then we have something that we call a boson. This is basically just a force carrier, but you need to memorize all this. So sometimes the question will ask, can be categorized as what? Is it under quark, is it under lepton, is it under boson, or is it under baryons? So the answer should be quarks. So each one of these actually has its antiparticles. For quark, we call that one as anti-quark. So you need to memorize the anti for that one. While for leptons, we have anti-leptons. Again, we call that one as anti-leptons. Example over here, anti-quark for up is actually anti-up. And most of the students will try to answer down, but the answer should be anti-up. Anti-down is, down is anti-down, charm is anti-charm. This one is easy to memorize. And over here also pretty much the same, you just add anti, except for electron we change to positron. But I expect you guys to know that one already. Okay, I think that's about it. So just to conclude, first thing that you really need to understand is the difference between linear accelerator and circular accelerator. And then you need to memorize this table, and then you need to know the name for each anti. That one's easy. And then you need to be able to separate what is baryons and mesons. So memorize this thing and this thing. Okay, that's about it today. Thank you.